And Rebecca, this episode, you're going to talk about stuff, basically explaining why all of my hate mail videos are gone. Because I was saying in the last video, there is a generation of people who, when they were little kids, started flopping around on the floor, screaming their heads off, and were not taught that was wrong. So they continue to flop around, screaming their heads off. Oh, sometimes in real life, which would need police being called because they're way bigger than a child is, or online, but a lot more times online. They was flopping around, they was screaming their head off when someone would dare to ever say that what they want, they can't get what they want. What they want is wrong. What they want is dangerous. What they want is not what they need. Even if that's true. They basically will flop around, scream their head off to somebody who will listen to them and will basically try to make the problem go away. And that problem being the person trying to stand up for what they believe in, according to the Bible, and trying to save lives and stuff. And basically, he's like, well, let's just get rid of him. Get rid of him. So his account. Maybe that'll help them flop around and stop flopping around the floor and screaming their heads off less. Yeah, they won't. But still, well, at least for a little bit until the next person comes because they're trying to tell the truth instead of lying. But anyway, so how this stuff goes basically is that the hate mail has been canceled. Hate mail is no longer going to be a thing because what hate mail was is a thing. Basically, hate mail was a collection of screen captures I made to show people evidence to back up what I was saying. People, I'm saying, like, you're totally wrong. You haven't done, one of the biggest things they like to say is you have never done research on transgender issues. Obviously, it's so obvious. I'm like, okay. Here's a comment by this person who said, basically here, I basically said, first of all, basically I would say no. No one is born in the wrong body. People think they are, and then they do horrible things to themselves to try to do that. And it's like, you have never researched transgender stuff, have you? Or talked to a transgender person. I'm like, oh, no, here's a transgender person right here, a comment transgender person right here saying, yeah, a girl, person with authority, saying, if I cut my hair short, hide that I have breasts and other curves, okay, while I work at the store as a clerk, they will more likely think I'm a guy than a girl, and they'll treat me better. And I'm like, if you are not being treated well because were born with ovaries and have breasts and other curves, then something is wrong with them, not you. And people have been saying, "Oh, you're wrong because that means I don't get what I want." I'm like, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. I was like, yeah, it does, because I say you are. And they start floating around on the ground and so you're screaming their heads off, And I'm like, yeah, so this stuff's been happening. That's basically my brother's saying, yeah, this can happen for that. This can happen because of what you're posting. And the biggest issue, the biggest issue, I think I said it, I don't know if I said it before, but the biggest issue with that Facebook post that is gone now, thank God. My brother helped me erase that, and I put the cat picture up by itself. Of course, I'm not going to tell you the Facebook because that would be a really bad idea. But anyway, I also made a video and put it on Facebook to explain what was going on, just in case someone saw that and was like, "What the heck going on?" Because basically, their family members, my family, uncles and aunts, my grandparents, people from my church, people I used to work with, at Cleveland Crops, they were there. They're on Facebook. Okay, so several churches, several pastors, several pastors' wives and their kids and everybody else all on Facebook. So it's like, I gotta actually tell these people what's going on. Basically, the main issue I think was that freaked me out was not that it was against the transgender lifestyle, because the transgender lifestyle is a bad lifestyle, but it was against the issue was it was not censored. You could see people's names and icons on there, and I pride myself on saying I remove no names and icons are shown. But then to have that on Facebook, it was just like, what the heck, you know? So I was like, okay, get rid of that quick. I don't want people thinking I'm trying to mess with their reputation, cause problems with them at work. Because basically it could be stuff like, you say this is wrong, like, oh, I'm not gonna transition, I was in a dress and I had my hair grew my hair long, was in a dress, and I basically was able to pass for a woman, and it was awesome. I'm like, this is wrong. That's deception. And then they could say something like, like, I will find you, and I will go mafia. I will go, basically straight up mafia, double tap on you and everybody else around you, man. I will clear out that neighborhood for you because you said that stuff to me. Don't speak to me again. You blankety blank. This thing like that other stuff. Eat this, swallow this, shove this. All the whole gamut, So if someone said that and then their name's right there, then I'd be like, oh shoot, I got them in trouble, And they're basically just freaking out and ticked off because again they're flopping around, screaming their head off because they're not. There's someone's saying they can't have what they want, And they can flop around, scream their head off to someone who would actually listen to them and try to get rid of the problem, aka me. So no. So the gay male, basically, in a way, it's sad to see a show go. It's sad to see all that hard work just be deleted. But it's important to basically not give ammunition to people who spend their time flopping around on the ground, screaming their heads off, because they can't get. Because someone says that they can't get what they want, And basically, if it so yeah, to get rid of that evidence, to get rid of that stuff, to also basically make it so that I'm not causing problems. Again, the worst thing, my brother said that after all that stuff with the whining and complaining of babies with beards and babies with boobs and stuff like that, flopping around on the ground with their heads, screaming their heads off, to people who actually listen to them and try to make the problem go away, so that they can have a more pleasant fantasy. The worst thing is, of course, is he said, if someone decides they can't live anymore, and they take their own lives because and which is the ultimate form of rejection of reality. That is a temptation to sin as well. You must resist it as well because that is the worst. Okay, you're basically giving the devil what he wants. To take a soldier, to take someone who could show that he is defeatable out of the equation. That's what's going on there. And you got basically, if I actually, okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. This may seem fabricated, but it isn't. Okay, I myself had felt suicidal thoughts. Okay, sometimes because basically, there was a lot of things going on. I was me and my mom, and my brother, basically moved into this place, and it was like we were freaking, we were scared, we were scared about some stuff, and all kinds of different things were happening in this place, and it was just ghetto and crazy, and we were like, oh, what's going to happen next? We were freaking out, and then the thought got in my head one night, because I was like freaking out, and it was just not a fun situation, and then I was like, thought in my head one night, well, maybe I should, end it all. Then I won't have to worry about, this stuff happening anymore. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not for me. No, that is an attack of the devil. That is an attack of the enemy right there. Trying to get rid of me so I can't say he's defeatable. Okay? Got news. I'm still here. He's defeatable. Thank you. Okay? The devil is defeatable. The dark side is defeatable. All right? I have learned by reading. Basically, when those thoughts start coming in, okay, so we were freaking out about all kinds of stuff. When those thoughts start coming in, I have been reading the Bible, Psalms 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. And I'm like, I will say to the Lord, He's my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. I read that. I basically hadn't been reading my Bible verses. I've been slacking off. Now I read those Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 every night to keep, basically to study. When a test comes, I want to be ready and to get passing grade. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? So yeah, I basically um, got back into training mode, you know. Yeah, when you like us, oh no, one of those martial art kung fu films or whatever. You know, got back into training mode, started getting into spiritual shape. You know, after that, because yeah, that suicide stuff. That stuff is bad news, okay, and it's lies. It's what it is. It's from the devil. It is lies because no one is worthless. No one, is trapped and unable to get out of a situation without dying. Okay, because no one is. There's always a way to make things better. You just gotta find it. You just gotta stay alive and keep looking. Okay, and I say the way is to follow the ways of God, to read about how awesome God is, to study His book, the Bible, to talk to other people who are following His ways. You know, you gotta do that stuff so that you can, basically when the devil comes at you, you're like, oh no, nope. Nope. Okay. I like Carmen when he said, "Yeah, no monsters. Don't want no monsters in my house tonight. Don't want no monsters in my house." You know, I was like, "Yeah, you won't get me screaming. You're nothing but a demon. It's time for you to go now." And I'm like, yeah, oh. And I was like, I hadn't listened to Carmen in a long time, and he's saying that. I'm like, what am I doing, man? I'm like the Amsha, or something like that, slacking off, man. I'm like, no, I gotta get back in there. Frieza coming in, and with his warriors, we gotta be ready, so I won't end up in a crater with the Zybermen or whatever, So it's like, yeah, I'm like, we gotta remember that I am a temple of the Holy Ghost, he says, and Carmen says, and I'm protected by the Lord of hosts. Yeah, so get out in the name of Jesus Christ. Because I don't want no monsters in my house tonight. And basically, that can be for bad thoughts, That can be for bad thoughts, bad thoughts. You gotta be aggressive with that stuff. Say, no, dysphoria, you're wrong. According to the Bible, I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God. According to science, was born with a penis and testicles, so that makes me a male human. The doctor, or I was born with a vagina, uterus, and ovaries. That makes me a female human. The doctor has given me a clean bill of health, says everything's working like it's supposed to. So no, I was not born in the wrong body. That's what you need to be saying. Okay? No dysphoria. No fear. No temptation. No. That's what you need to be doing that. I was like, no, where's the newspaper? Angry Joe has a newspaper. Yeah, I got the paper over here. Roll it up. No. I like that stuff. No, EA, no Activision, no, no, get rid of those microtransactions. I like that stuff. So that's what we're gonna basically be doing, in a different way. Hate mail's gone. The Breath of Fire 3 is still going. Okay, and it's weird. Okay, this morning I was crying. I was so sad, but I was also kind of happy because now that 8 Mil's gone, I have more time to do other stuff because I got some projects I'm going to do. My gosh. Wow. Speaking of that, check this guy out right here. You might not be able to see him so well, but here's the deal. This is Ace Sling. Or now as he's known, Ace Sling. Basically, Ace Sling. My main guy, my main little representative for my channel. That's his head on the that egg-shaped thing with the glasses. That's his head and his bandana on the icon. Might make a new icon that's easier to make out. We'll work on that. But anyway, so I'm gonna work on a new story, but this story is gonna have a lot of fighting in it. So I gotta make sprite sheets of every character that's gonna be fighting. It's amazing stuff. I recently rediscovered these guys. I have a bunch of these little tablets here. That's the RCA one right here, and I have a bunch of them, little tablets, and apparently my mom has this big old guy right here. Look at the size of this thing. This big old guy here, okay? And she's not really sure what she wants to do with this, so I'm gonna help out. Apparently they work really well with some music videos I made that I cannot put on YouTube because they're, of course, use copyrighted music and copyrighted videos. But I will be reacting to them. You'll see my face. You might see, some hand puppets, yeah, here's the hand. And basically, here's one of the issues. After deleting all my hate mail videos, and I was like, oh, this is like, oh, my heart, my soul, this is painful, this is suffering. I saw an old video from like, I don't know if that happened years ago, of my hand looking like this, talking, and I looked down and I saw it has over 200 views. Like my hand has over 200 views. So I'm like, yeah, you're coming back. Like, oh, thank you. You're back. Yeah, yes, yeah.